film tells the story of two friends, an inventor and a salesman, who hit rock bottom before inventing a contraption that becomes a worldwide phenomenon. The film begins with a man named Matt, a small-time inventor, walking into a store with a red suitcase. He tries to sell the store owner a dog watch that he has invented. The watch is able to somehow reveal what their dog is thinking about. Meanwhile, his friend Sam, a shady salesman, tries to sell the same watch to golfers. Unfortunately, neither succeeds in selling the watches because potential customers don't understand their value. Matt lives with his girlfriend and hopes that one day his invention will bring him fame and money. Matt works on a new watch called a lottery watch, which, at the push of a button, gives you a sequence of 6 different numbers. Sam and Matt are excited and plan to sell these watches to lottery enthusiasts to generate the random number sequence with the clocks and not use paper. While they are sure to succeed, their colleague Bean is not so sure, as their office is full of inventions that have turned out to be failures. Matt's girlfriend, Gina, works as a hostess and shows her colleagues her boyfriend's new invention. Gina loves his enthusiasm and the way he sees the world, so she is head over heels in love with him. Matt and Sam are in the car looking for a way to find money to buy more watches. They make a good team. While Matt is the inventor, Sam tries to sell his inventions. Sam proposes to earn the money by betting on greyhound racing. Although hesitant, Matt accepts his friend's idea. They bet on a dog that poops before the race, believing it to be a sign from God. Unfortunately, their dog doesn't win, and the two lose $400. That evening, Matt picks up Gina from work and tells her that they are now looking for money to buy watches. Knowing her husband's bad habits, she asks if he tried to go to the casino, and Matt says no. When they return home, Gina reveals that her airline is allowing her to retire earlier than usual, and she will get a $20,000 prize. One evening, Matt and Gina have dinner together with Sam and his girlfriend, Cinda. They happily discuss the project, and Sam says that when they will be successful, Gina can quit her job. Then, Cinda, being drunk, accidentally reveals that Sam and Matt bet in a greyhound race. Outraged, Gina gets up and walks away from the table. Matt follows her and apologizes. Gina tells him that she works and pays their debts alone, while he bets on greyhound racing. Matt promises her never to do that again and repeats that everything will change once their watches become successful. Since there are 60 million people playing the lottery, selling the watches to even 1% of them could help them cover their debts. The next day, Sam and Matt are at the bar drinking beer while discussing what happened last night. Over the next few days, Matt, Sam, and Cinda try to sell the watches, but no one is interested. At one point, a man named Nukin approaches them and reveals that he works for an advertising company. Matt says he is not interested, as they have no money to spend on advertising, but Nukin says they will cover the expenses. Nukin insists on setting up a meeting and discussing their offer. Sam and Matt are confused and don't take his offer seriously. Later, they return to their store and discuss more ideas for how to sell the watches, but end up only infuriating each other. Sam proposes to take a loan and lie about their financial situation, but Bean says it would be fraud and leaves. Matt comes home and tells Gina that they are in a bad situation. He asks her to take a loan from his rich sister, Louisa, but Gina flatly refuses. Matt insists, and Gina agrees to do so on one condition. If the watch business does not go well, Matt will have to work for Louis's company. Matt and Gina visit Louisa, where they discover that she and her husband have won a prize of $40,000. They plan to go on vacation and invite Matt and Gina along with them. A few days later, Matt meets Sam and tells him that he has managed to borrow $7,000 from Louisa, which they plan to invest in dog watches. Nevertheless, they need another $3,000 to get started, and Sam suggests playing blackjack. Matt refuses, but then Sam convinces him by saying that they will use only part of the money and that the other part they will use for the investment in the watches. Unfortunately, after a long night of blackjack, they lose the entire $7,000. On the way, Matt stops the car and says he cannot go home to Gina after what he did. Matt remembers Nukin's offer, which is to sell the watches through their company and receive a percentage of the sales. Initially, Sam is against the idea, but having no other choice, they decide to contact Nukin. They go to the company's headquarters, where they also meet the CEO. Nukin says they will handle the advertising and investor agreements. When Sam finds out that they will receive only 4% of the profit from sales, he becomes furious. Nukin tells him that they are not in a position to negotiate because they are practically bankrupt. Otherwise, they would not have come here. Finally, realizing that they will not be able to do business together, Nukin and the CEO leave. Matt is furious with his friend, but Sam assures him that they will be able to make it on their own. That night, Sam reveals to Gina what he did with the money. She is disappointed, begins to cry, and locks herself in the room alone. Later, Gina packs her bags and reveals that she is going to live with her sister. Matt tries to stop her, but it is too late. The next day, Matt tells Sam everything, and his friend tries to cheer him up by telling him that Gina will forgive him and they will get back together as before. Meanwhile, Gina has not taken the separation well and mixes tears with beer. Subsequently, Matt's invention store declares bankruptcy and closes. Matt and Sam say goodbye to their employees, and then each gets a regular job. At work, Gina's co-worker tries to console her but says they were a nice couple. Nevertheless, Gina no longer wants to talk about him and intends to leave everything in the past. One evening, while Matt is watching television, he finds an advertisement selling his invention. It is obvious that Nukin has stolen his idea and is now selling it as his own. Matt immediately calls Sam, and when he finds out, he goes ballistic. They immediately go to a lawyer, who agrees to help them using the pay-as-you-go practice. A few days later, Matt and Sam participate in a 12-step program. These are peer support groups that help people recover from substance use disorders, behavioral addictions, and sometimes other co-occurring mental health conditions. One night, when Gina returns from work, she finds a message on her answering machine from Matt, telling her that he has paid off the debt he owed her. Matt and Sam are at the bar, and we find out that they cannot sue Nukin's company because they cannot afford a good lawyer. Moreover, they have no hope of winning a war against a company of such caliber, as they have a budget that allows them to hire much more competent lawyers. They then talk about their dismal 9-to-5 jobs, and Matt says he is aiming to be Employee of the Month. Sam freaks out and says he doesn't want to die knowing he has lived such a boring life. This talk seems to have ignited something inside Matt, and when he gets home that evening, he immediately gets to work on a new invention. The next day, he calls Sam at his house and excitedly asks him to open 2 beers. At that point, Matt gives him a bottle opener that, every time he opens a beer, plays an audio recording that says, "I love beer." Sam is over the moon and can't wait to start selling these ingenious bottle openers. But first, they need money to get started. Sam says this invention will change their lives and goes to find a way to raise money. Sam invites Gina to a diner to talk about Matt and his new invention. Gina is impressed, but when Sam reveals why he called her here, her mood changes. Sam asks her to take another loan from Louisa, as she might be interested in being part of this project as an investor. Gina refuses, as she has already made herself look bad by asking for that $7,000. Nevertheless, before saying goodbye, Sam sneaks the bottle opener into Gina's bag. One night, Sam gets another idea to earn the money and takes Matt to a desert to steal a cactus and sell it for a handsome sum of money. Sam pulls out 2 shovels to dig, but soon realizes that this is not a good idea. Gina finds the bottle opener in her bag and shows it to her work colleagues, who immediately fall in love with it. Louise offers Gina a job as a real estate agent in her company, and she celebrates her last day of work with her coworkers. At that moment, Matt pays her a visit, and she hugs him warmly. They then spend the night together, and Gina tells him to call Sam because she needs to discuss something with them. Gina reveals that everyone who has seen the bottle opener has been fascinated, but Louisa has refused to fund the project. Nevertheless, Gina offers to finance the project with the $20,000 she received as a prize from the company she worked for as a hostess. Gina suggests paying off the $6,000 debt they took from Bean and hiring him as an accountant. Finally, she asks for a third of the profit, and the 3 shake hands. Sam and Matt immediately get to work and hire a professional voice actor for the phrases the bottle opener emits every time it opens a beer. One evening, Gina calls Matt to ask for an update on the project, and Louisa enters her room. She criticizes Gina for still trusting Matt, even though, in all these years they have been together, he has done nothing useful. Nevertheless, Gina is sure that this project is a good one and asks Louisa not to meddle. When the 5,000 bottle openers finally arrive, everyone is excited to see them, but when Sam tries one, they realize that the bottle opener emits a baby voice. They get nervous, and after testing hundreds more bottle openers, they discover that all of them are defective. Matt calls the Chinese company that made the bottle openers and complains that they are all defective. Gina tells him that he needs to go to China and resolve the issue. The next day, Matt goes to the company and solves the problem. Fortunately, the company can produce 100 bottle openers to sell tomorrow. The team travels to Los Angeles to exhibit their product, and everyone is anxious. Initially, they fail to attract customers, but then a men's store owner arrives. He emphasizes that this bottle opener could be the perfect gift for a man and decides to buy 72 bottle openers. Subsequently, people started flocking to buy the bottle openers. Even Nukin and his boss are amazed, but they can't help but envy them. Soon, the talking bottle opener reveals itself to be an absolute hit, selling 10 million replicas in 18 different countries. Gina finally succeeds in buying her dream house and gets back together with Matt. Sam has not forgotten his bad habits and goes to have fun at the casino with his girlfriend, Cinder. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to be my first viewer.